Morning children, this is Vedugopal sir for Little Hearts Publications with EVS Book 5, Lesson 5, The World of Plants. What is the meaning of world of plants? Look around children, wherever you are standing there, just you look around. You can see a lot of plants and trees around you. How did those plants grow? Who grew them? Does any particular person grow those plants and trees around you everywhere? Or the plants or trees grew on their own? Generally, most of the plants or trees grow on their own. Through different means, of course. No person takes care of them. No person particularly takes care to grow those plants or trees by the roadside or in your surroundings. But sometimes we see, do you see only one or two plants around you, or do you see those plants more and more in number? Sometimes we see many plants around us. And we have to understand how these plants increase in numbers, how they go on increasing in numbers, who is planting those plants or trees, who are growing those plants or trees. Actually, reproduction is a process. Reproduction means what? Producing again of one's own kind. Reproduction is a process by which plants increase in number. Reproduction means what? Producing again. How the plants reproduce? Let us see now in this. Plants reproduce in different ways. One is through seeds. Plants reproduce through seeds. Plants reproduce through spores. Means small holes are called spores. And through vegetative parts. Plants reproduce in how many ways, children? 3 different ways. Through seeds. Sometimes you see after you are eating an apple, or you are eating a mango or papaya. After eating that, you throw the seeds away like this, out in the open. Whether it's a mango seed, or it's an apple seed, or papaya seeds, or guava seeds. Once you eat, you throw the seeds away. Those seeds again grow into plants and then into big trees. This is what is called reproduction through seeds. How do the seeds reproduce? Let us see now. See, fruits are very important parts of a plant because they contain the seed. Where are the seeds found there? In a plant, seeds are found in a fruit. So, fruits are very important parts of a plant. Some plants have only one seed. For example, mango, it has got only one seed. Some fruits like mango has got only one seed. Some fruits like apple or papaya have got many seeds there inside, more seeds. Okay, children. So, fruits are very important parts of a plant. And fruits are very important parts of a plant because fruits contain seeds. And those seeds only when they are thrown out in the open, they grow into plants again. As I told you, some fruits have got only one seed, some fruits have got many seeds. Now let us see structure of a seed. Means what does a seed contain? That is what is called structure of a seed. A seed has a seed coat, which is the outer protective covering. Look at that picture there, children, in the page number 30. A seed has a seed coat, which is the outer protective covering. Outer protective covering means what? A seed has got a covering around it. That is what is called seed coat. It acts like a coat for the seed, and that protects it, the inner seed, from other agents, which is the outer protective cover. Below the seed coat are present two seed leaves called cotyledons. You can see there in the picture, children. Below the seed coat, inside the seed coat, two seed leaves are present. Seed coat protects or is the outer protective cover of a seed. Seed leaves, which are just under the outer protective cover, seed leaves they are also called cotyledons. They are also called cotyledons. You can see there in the picture, children. This picture, see cotyledons, seed coat. The cotyledons store food for the baby plant. So, baby plant grows from where? From the seed only the baby plant grows. So, these cotyledons store food for the baby plant. Between the seed leaves, between these two cotyledons, grows the baby plant. Between those two seed leaves, which are also called cotyledons, the baby plant grows. It has a baby root and a baby shoot. What has got a baby root and a baby shoot? The baby plant has got a baby root and a baby shoot. Root is always under the earth. Shoot part is the part of the plant which is above the earth, above the ground. It is called shoot. So, this is together called embryo. What is called embryo? The baby root and a baby plant or baby shoot together is called the embryo. And this, how does this seed grow into a plant? That process is called germination of a seed. Germination of a seed is nothing but a baby plant growing from a seed. Let us see how it happens. And what are required for a seed to grow into a baby plant? We have to learn that first. What is required for a seed to grow into a plant? Sunlight, water and air. These are required for a seed to grow into a baby plant. If a seed gets the right amount of sunlight, air and water, they grow into a new plant. This process is called germination. The process of a baby plant growing from a seed with the help of sunlight, water and air is called germination. It's a process of seed growing into a plant with the help of these three. A germinating seed requires air to breathe, water to soften its seed coat. Why does a germinating seed require water, children? Only when it gets water, when it is watered only, that softens, that means that makes the seed coat smooth so that the inside seed will get sufficient water. Okay, water is required for us to grow. For us also water is required to grow. So that the food stored in the seed changes into a soluble form. that food that is stored inside the seed will get easily digested by the baby plant and that grows well. Sunlight gives warmth to the plant so that the cells get activated to grow. The sunlight gives warmth for the children, when you are born also, you will be kept there in front of the sunlight for some time. That is required. In the same way, we need warmth there because we have just been born. And in the same way, sunlight gives warmth to the plant so that its cells get activated to grow. The plant cells have to get activated to grow. For that, sunlight is required. Water is required to soften the seed coat and also to convert the food that is required into a soluble thing which can be easily digested by the seed. When the seed starts germinating, the when the seed starts germinating, the radicle means root grows first downwards and then the plumule, that means shoot, grows. After that, the seed dries and falls off. Once the shoot grows, its own leaves. So what is the process now that takes place? You can see that there in the picture. The germination of a seed, you can see that there in the picture. A small seed here. A little up onto the water. Then more about this is the soil, and you see once the seed coat gets sufficient water, it absorbs water, it makes the food soluble, then the sunlight gives warmth for the cells to grow, and then seed starts germinating. The radicle means root starts growing downwards. This is the root which is always under the ground, and this is what is called the shoot system. This is called shoot. This is called shoot. This is root. This is what is called radicle means root, plumule means shoot. Radicle, root, plumule is known as shoot system. Shoot means which grows out of the ground. Roots always remain inside the ground. Remember this, children. Can you see the roots of a plant directly? No. You have to pull the tree or plant completely, then only you can see the roots which are always under the ground. The part which grows outside the ground, it is called shoot. That is called plumule. And the root which is inside the ground is called radicle. After that, the seed dries and falls off once the shoot grows its own leaves. After that, what happens? These seeds dry and fall off. Again, new seeds grow, new leaves grow. Like that, the plant germinates, the seed germinates into a plant. And this is the way how plants reproduce, by their seeds. Now, we told you already that plants reproduce through spores also. Some spores or some small holes are present on the upper surface. For example, plants like ferns, mushrooms and mosses do not bear flowers. They do not produce flowers. Do not bear flowers means they do not produce flowers. They have tiny structures called spores on their bodies, small holes on their bodies. When spores fall into the soil, they grow into new plants. When those spores, when those small particles fall into the water, into the soil, they grow into plants again. Mushrooms, ferns, and of course mosses. They do not have any flowers because other trees or plants have flowers. Flowers change into fruits and fruits produce seeds. Again from the seeds we get new plants. But some plants or trees do not produce flowers at all. They have spores on their bodies. When those spores fall into the ground, they grow into plants again. What are the examples for the plants which reproduce through spores? Those plants are ferns, mushrooms, and mosses. And some plants reproduce through their vegetative parts. What do you mean by vegetative parts? Some plants reproduce by using their own body parts. Some plants reproduce by their own body parts, which is called vegetative propagation or vegetative parts, through vegetative parts. Some plants reproduce from one of their body or vegetative parts. This is also known as vegetative propagation. For example, what do you mean by vegetative propagation? Plants reproducing through some of their body parts. What are the parts of a plant? Leaves, roots, fruits, flowers. These are all different parts of a plant. Stem, branches, these are all different parts of a plant. Sometimes some plants give or reproduce by using some of their own body parts. This is called vegetative propagation. For example, carrots. See, carrot is a plant. It produces or it grows from the roots. Roots of a plant, carrot, are used as vegetables. Carrots, you see, you can eat them raw or you can eat them cooked. A bryophyllum plant grows from its leaves. For example, a bryophyllum plant, it reproduces through its leaves only. A carrot plant reproduces through its root, and a bryophyllum plant reproduces through its leaves. A potato grows from the buds present on its stem. See, potatoes, you like potatoes very much, children. Potatoes grow from the buds present on their stems. A rose plant can be grown from the stem cutting. Just you cut the stem and plant it again somewhere, it grows a new plant. So this is called vegetative propagation. That is the process by which plants reproduce through some of their body parts. Dispersal. The third mode or process by which plants reproduce is dispersal of seeds. What is the meaning of dispersal? Distribution or scattering. Through dispersal of seeds also plants reproduce. Dispersal means distribution or scattering. How do the seeds scatter generally? Do the seeds of all the plants scatter on their own? There are different agents which scatter the seeds of these plants. For example, seed dispersal means scattering of seeds away from the parent plant so that it gets space, air, water and sunlight. Fruits and seeds are scattered with the help of wind, water, explosion and animals. These are called agents of dispersal. Let us discuss them. What are called agents of dispersal? Means the seeds of any plant can be dispersed in different ways. Sometimes some seeds get blown away by the wind. Sometimes water takes the seeds away too far away from the parent plant. Sometimes some seeds explode. Some fruits of a plant, some plants explode means break up, throwing the seeds into faraway places. So, Seeds dispersal means scattering of seeds away from the parent plant so that it gets enough space, air, water and sunlight. Enough space is required, and sunlight, water and air also are required for a seed to germinate. So, fruits and seeds are scattered with the help of wind, water, seeds of a plant are dispersed or scattered through wind, water, explosion and animals. And these are called agents of dispersal. What are called agents of dispersal? Wind, water, explosion and animals. Sometimes when there is a heavy wind, the fruit opens up and the seeds are blown away by the wind to a far off place. Where there is enough space, they get air, water, sunlight and they grow into new plants. Sometimes the seeds of a particular plant or some plants are carried away by water. When the fruits fall in the water, that water takes those or flows and takes those seeds away, far away from the parent plant. And some seeds of a plant get, some fruits of a plant get exploded or break up, throwing the seeds into a distant place. And sometimes animals eat those fruits and they fall down there in the form of their droplets when they urinate. For example, wind, seeds of cotton and dandelion are scattered by wind as these are small and light. Cotton seeds and dandelion seeds are scattered by the wind which is blowing there, because they are very small and light in weight, they get easily dispersed by the wind. Water, the seeds and fruits of plants that grow near water are dispersed by water. What are the fruits or seeds that grow generally near water? Coconut and hydrilla. Those seeds are dispersed because those seeds or those fruits fall in the water, water carries them away to distant places and disperse them, they grow into plants again. Explosion means breakup. Some fruits like that of balsam and pea burst open. You can see pea, green peas you use in curries. They burst open and thus their seeds get scattered by explosion. When they burst open, because of that bursting or explosion, the seeds of these plants get dispersed to a faraway place. These are the seeds which are scattered by explosion. Sometimes animals help in dispersal. Some seeds of some fruits that are eaten by some birds and animals are passed out of the animal's body along with the body waste. Along with the dung of those animals, those seeds which are eaten by the fruits which are eaten by the animals are birds. They cannot digest the seeds. Those seeds fall out when they pass out urine or they pass out waste materials from the bodies. So, these cling to the fur of animals and are carried to wherever some fruits like xanthium and spear grass are thorny and have spines. These cling to the fur of animals and are carried to wherever the animal moves, thus these are dropped at other places. Some particular grass fruits, they get stuck to the bodies of the animals because they have got spines in their bodies. Those particular seeds have spines on their bodies. They get stuck to the bodies of animals. When the animals move from place to place, these seeds also get carried to those places and they grow in that way. In that way, they are dropped there in the new places. Okay, children. Finally, let us learn about some plants which are carried to our country, which we see in our country or in our place today, which actually are obtained from faraway places. Let us see, some plants are brought to India from faraway places. For example, tea has its origin from China. Tea plants origin from China. Potato has come from Peru. Peru is a name of a country. Potato has come from there. Tomato was first grown in South Africa. Onions originated in Egypt. Coffee originated in Ethiopia. Apple has been brought from Central Asia. Watermelon has been brought from South Africa. Cinnamon originated in Sri Lanka. These are different kinds of fruits or seeds or plants which are brought to our country from faraway places, from other countries. Okay, children, with that we come to the end of the lesson. The key for these exercises will be sent to you through WhatsApp. Thank you.